Going on, guys?
We are going to take questions, Trav, and we're going to start with Sam McDowell. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, what's up, Travis? I'm just wondering, obviously you've been in the facility. We can see you're wearing a mask, so you've seen all the COVID protocols. What are your general thoughts about, being back at camp through what's going on right now, and how safe do you feel?
I'm not gonna lie. I feel pretty good about the situation we have here in Kansas City. I know everyone's not as fortunate to have the head athletic training staff and all the docs that we do here in Kansas City. I get it, but everything that we're checking all the boxes out here in KC, and it's really making us feel at home. And I know it's a league-wide protocol, so it's not just us. Everybody has to follow these guidelines, and I'm just excited to be back in the building with the guys.
Let's go to Matt McMullen. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Travis. Thanks for doing this, man. I have two dogs fighting. Sorry about that. Been a unique offseason, obviously. Haven't been at the facility at all in quite a while. To be back and just focusing on football with your teammates again for the first time in a while, what's your mentality like heading into this camp and this season?
Yeah, it kind of feels like we're behind on the eight ball here. Just kind of play catch up right now, and it's just good to be around the guys. I mean, the meeting last night, it was long and insightful and informative, but just the small locker room talk that we got to have with some of the guys catching up with everybody, it's it makes you feel at home. It makes you feel like you're back in the building again with the guys you went out and won it with last year. So it's definitely a good feeling to be back.
Let's go to Pete Sweeney. Go ahead, Pete.
Hey, Travis, thanks again for taking some time. I was curious, you're entering your 8th camp here. You've been in the league now a long time. What type of things do you think that you could still work on to maybe even improve going into this year? And then other question, Blake Bell has moved on. What are some things that maybe you look for in someone who's going to be your number 2?
Well, I'll start with that one first. We have a great room, and Coach Tom Melvin always gets the guys ready to go. I know he's always harping on me to sharpen the tools and get better at your strengths, but also the weaknesses. We have to rise to the occasion, and definitely it's an all around mentality of keep learning the offense. Coach Reed is going to do a great job of putting us in a situation to succeed, but we got to learn this offense and know it in and out, just like he teaches it. So it's definitely a fun process. But getting better is it's a year-long thing. It's a career-long thing. You can never be satisfied with where you are.
Let's go to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Travis, how you doing?
Doing good, Adam.
Good. Hey, what does the loss of Larry and of Damian Williams do to the offense? What kind of loss is this for you guys?
Man, it hurts, man. It hurts, but at the same time, you can obviously respect both of their decisions. Love those guys. It doesn't make me feel a grudge about either one of them. I totally respect what they're doing. And you know what? I think Coach Reed, Veach, the front office is going to do an unbelievable job of trying to fill that void. And the guys that we have in this locker room can fill that void. I honestly, I truly believe that. We have an unbelievable roster, and I'm pretty excited to see how this group molds together.
Let's go to Harold Kuntz. Go ahead, Harold.
Hey, Travis, hope you're doing well. I know it's been a bit, but when you see the way Arrowhead Stadium's set up, we kind of saw it yesterday, the way it was all with the locker rooms being spaced out and everything. Kind of what is your initial reaction to how it's all going to be with this unique training camp? Because you're so used to St. Joe's, being around, active with the people, but now it's different. It's all you guys. It's enclosed and just the different spacing. What did you think of all that? And then I got to ask you about Mahomes and being number 4, if you will, in the NFL poll.
Well, the NFL poll is what it is. I mean, that's it's TV land, man. I don't want to harp on what happens in TV land, but everybody has their opinions and everybody has their favorites. So it is what it is. But I think like I said earlier, the Chiefs have done an unbelievable job as an organization getting us set up here around our facilities where we're comfortable, we're familiar with it. Obviously, I love St. Joe. To everybody out there, we're going to miss you guys this year, and hopefully we can get back out next year. But for what we have to set up here in Kansas City at the 2 facilities, both the stadium and here at the practice facility, I think it's very safe environment. I feel comfortable as can be going into training camp.
Let's go to Karen Kornacki. Go ahead, Karen.
Hello, Travis.
Hello.
Just your thoughts on no preseason games. What will you guys have to do to get ready to start a season when you don't have a dress rehearsal?
Well, I think it's going to be an interesting transition, especially for the young guys, the guys that haven't had quite the reps to feel out how fast the game is really going to be. But I think also that Coach Reed does an unbelievable job of getting us ready for our first game, and I think it'll have to be modified just a little bit. But I think Coach Reed, I got all the trust in the world in Coach Reed and the coaches to get all these guys ready for that week one opportunity against Houston. And the biggest thing I think that we're going to miss out on is defensively being able to tackle. You can try and simulate it as much as you can, but until the bullets are flying, you really don't know what a guy's going to do instinctually. And I think those are things that you definitely got to build on. And you'll see teams progress a lot further along in the season because we're kind of catching it later on in terms of that learning process. So
go to Matt Derrick. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Travis, hope you're doing well. Andy on Saturday had said that, it's going to be up to the players to doing the right things when you leave the building. Curious, what that means to you, and as a veteran of this team, how can you, underscore that message to the young guys?
It's accountability. I mean, the guys coming in the office, they know what this team is capable of. They know what this team is capable of. I mean, it shows what we did last year and who all we got coming back, which means we got just about every single leader that we had in this locker room outside of two that respectively decided to opt out. I think that we're as set and ready leadership-wise as we've ever been. And the tone has to be set and the accountability has to be set amongst all the guys in the locker room to, there's a virus out here. It's not something we can play around with. It's something that we have to take serious. Guys are going home to their families. We have kids and wives and beautiful families that we have to make sure that we're all being held accountable for. So like Coach Reed said, just making sure you're doing the right things for the guys around you. But I don't see much of a problem because a lot of that is already kind of set in the culture that Coach Reed and the leaders on this team have set.
Let's go to Darren Smith. Go ahead, Darren.
Travis, thank you so very much for taking the time to do this. One, you were instrumental in designing the Super Bowl championship rings. Do you know when you all are going to receive them, if you're going to have like a Washington Nationals type event in the unveiling of it? And then also, obviously, you see the background behind me. What are your thoughts on the Black Lives Matter and do you support what they have going on?
I support, without a doubt, everything that's going on in the social justice in this world right now. Black Lives Matter is something that's very personal to me because I have a lot of friends, a lot of family that fall into that world, and it's something that I've been very passionate about since I've been in the league, and it's almost a responsibility that I take upon myself to show the support and show the want for change. And that being said, I forget the first question you asked. I apologize.
No, you're fine. I was asking about you were instrumental in the design of the Super Bowl ring. So just wondering, do you know when you all are going to receive them and what type of unveiling you're going to do for it?
You know what? You can say I was instrumental in it, but they kind of just threw it on the screen, and I was like, oh, that's nice. I would like one of those. Yes. And it was it's a beautiful ring from when I saw it. In terms of how we're going to receive it, or if there's going to be any type of party or whatever it is, I think that's kind of second to everything that's going on right now. I think we're all just focused on trying to go get another one this year, and we'll worry about all that when it happens. And just to say something about the Black Lives Matter, that's why I love Kansas City and this organization, because Clark Hunt and our president, Mark Donovan, have done an unbelievable job of reaching out to the players on this team to try and find something that makes sense and is meaningful to this community and to the players in this locker room, and I love them for it.
All right, guys, we've got 3 more hands up. We'll make these our final ones. Let's go to Pete Sweeney. Go ahead, Pete.
Trav, I think this is the first time we're getting to talk to you since the Mahomes contract. I just was curious what your reaction to the deal was. And then even though you've been putting up this production even before Mahomes, just how fortunate do you feel to be able to play with him during really both your primes?
Yeah, I think I mean, you can hype up Mahomes all you want, man. I'm a firm believer that well, let me say this. Let me restart that. Obviously I'm a big fan of Pat's. Pat is the unbelievable. I think he's the best player in the National Football League. You can't tell me there's a better quarterback than him. That's for sure. You can turn on whatever film you want. He's the best player in the National Football League in my mind, and he led us to a Super Bowl because he is that. I was very fortunate to have a great quarterback in Alex Smith. I've always thought very highly of him. Excited to see what he's got going out in Washington right now. And yeah, I think moving forward that when Pat got into the huddle, it was just a little bit different, man. And it is what it is. I think he brought a different energy, a different style of the game that even I was a little bit more accustomed to, just going out there and playing ball in the backyard type football. And as he progresses, as he starts to learn more about defenses and gets into the defensive coordinator's minds, I mean, his game is just going to keep going up and up until probably something that we've never seen before. If what he's doing already isn't something that we've seen before. So I think it's a fun time to be a Kansas City Chief, and it's because 1-5 is in the building for sure.
Let's go to Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Hey, Travis, good to see you. We got to listen to Rick Burkholder a few days ago try to explain the process to us as to what's going on at your guys' facility. I'm just wondering from a player standpoint, how important was it to hear his direction of what you guys would be doing, and just how guys are getting accustomed to the new layout in terms of locker room and as many guys as you can try to interact with, even though obviously football is the ultimate team sport.
Yeah. I think the biggest key and the biggest message outside of all the I don't know, the guidelines and the precautions, the safety measures that you have to take in the building is don't get lazy. Don't get comfortable in what we're going through right now, because that's when it's going to kind of jump at you and hurt you. And it is what it is. It's a virus that unfortunately we can't control to a certain extent right now. But what we can control is our actions and how we're performing as athletes and what we're doing outside of the building, and we can minimize it as much as we can. And just being accountable and not taking it lightly at all, and making sure we're making the right decisions.
Okay, let's go to Steve Walls to close us out. Go ahead, Steve.
Hey, Travis, how's it going, man?
Steve, what's up, big dog?
Not much, man. You talked about holding guys accountable, but just how much of it is just really based on trust, knowing that guys are going to do the right thing away from the team? And also to the people out there that think that they shouldn't wear a mask, what's your message to them so that football can come back?
I think it goes way, way, way beyond football, man. Wearing a mask is if you want to get down to the nitty gritty, it's life or death for a lot of people. And who's to say who's safe and who's not safe, and who's able to get this disease and who's not, or how? It's such a question mark on what's going on with this virus right now, that wearing a mask is the first thing that you can do from saving somebody else from getting it, knowing that you don't know if you have it because of how it's been rapidly making its way into every single city and a lot of homes in these communities. So it's a scary time, and if you want to be, I say just wear the mask. I won't get into it too much. Just be safe about it. Wear the mask and respect the people around you, just as you would if it was your family member or if it wasn't, man. Act as if you have the virus already, and I think everybody would just be fine going from there.
Travis, we appreciate you taking the time today. Thank you, man.
Appreciate you guys.